Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Knack. We do have live tournament action coming at you. It is the other semifinal match. We did miss game number 1. They played it without me, but we did catch them in time for game number 2. So here it is. It is currently, let's see, who won game number 1? Oh, it's Regnen. He won game number 1. SLaNGyCHaNGy currently down 1 game. SLaNGyCHaNGy is going to be, oh man, I'm going to have trouble with his name. We're just, maybe we'll call him ChaNGy or ChaNGy, SLaNGy. Man, that's difficult to say even by itself, just half of that name. My goodness, SLaNGyCHaNGy. I'll just have to really enunciate it. I can't speed through it. It's kind of too much of a tongue twister. He is going to be our red Terran player, kicking it up here at the 1 o'clock position, 12 o'clock position, I guess. 2 o'clock, we do have Regnen spawning as our yellow Protoss. He's going to be tossing down his pylon in great time. Notice that SLaNGyCHaNGy working on his supply depot in pretty good time. There we go. Make a Good Kid says, call him the red Terran. If that's good enough for you, brother, it's good enough for me. I will try and say his name. We want to try and be respectful of the names that these guys choose, even when they're impossible to pronounce. Even when. What can I tell you? But Regnen going to be tossing down his gateway here in great time. We do have that barracks going down as well, so good standard openers so far. Oh, SLaNGyCHaNGy. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce it. iSpire is saying that I should be pronouncing it SLaNGyCHaNGy instead of SLaNGyCHaNGy. I don't know. Couldn't tell you. I guess maybe we should ask him, but here it is, game number 2, apparently, in this little series, where Regnen is up 1 game. So SLaNGyCHaNGy's got to win this game right here for us to even go to game number 2, where knowing his name will then be important. So, Mega Good Kid out on the live stream, I just want to mention, is going to be choosing another name, which sounds strange to me. He's had like 3 or 4 recently. He wants to choose one that's most difficult for casters to pronounce. So, I mean, he's thinking, you know, he's really trying to find important things to do with his life. I mean, we can tell that he's headed in the right direction with his life there. You know, trying to make things difficult for other people. It's really good. Good to see that. Hey, thumbs up there, Mega Good Kid. In fact, here's what we'll do for you. Good job. There we go. And we do have a bunker going down here for SLaNGyCHaNGy. Double barracks going down. Oh, sorry, a factory going down. Looks like it might be a 1-1-1 here. We do have that bunker going down, so good possibility that we do see that coming out here in just a few moments. And he does get a good scout on. His opponent knows that it's a fairly standard opener here for Regnen. Regnen, if he does scout this, needs to be cruising up this ramp, needs to figure out what's going on. If he does see this bunker and does assume that it's going to be a 1-1-1, his best counter is to take an expansion. Take an expansion. Yes, it sounds strange, but that is absolutely your best play. And it looks like he is doing that indeed, so I think maybe he did scout it. Let's just check. Yeah. See, he scouted the bunker, so he knows that his opponent is, or at least is guessing at his opponent going a 1-1-1 here. Is a good guess indeed. That's what you can pretty well guess when you see your opponents tossing down that early bunker like that it's going to be a 1-1-1, because it does put them behind in their unit production. In the meantime, Regnen, with his expansion almost 50% complete, he is going to be tossing down a gateway. We'll see how he's going to respond to the potential of a 1-1-1 build, a 1-1-1 play. Notice that, oh my goodness, SLaNGyCHaNGy be tossing down 2 more racks, but so it's not a 1-1-1, strangely enough. Tech lab going down here. I'm assuming we're going to see another tech lab on this barracks and going to be going mass marauder. But it does appear to be a 1 base all in many regards. Huh. Don't know. I couldn't tell you. He's currently supply blocked, however, and that is not a fun position. There he goes. He's just barely starting to production of a supply depot. Yikes. So he's 20 seconds out before this production is going to continue. See how he's going to play with that, but so far it appears to be a 1 base all-in regardless of what the build is. There he goes. He's calling down some extra supply, using that energy. Wow, interesting play, but he kind of had to do it, I think, at this point. Cool, cool, cool. Regnen, in the meantime, Unistaff shows he has got 28 probes, so picking up a slight economic advantage here. Tech-wise, he is going to be going for that robotics facility, going to get a good observer headed over to his opponent's base. This kind of play is exactly what you need to see. May have tried to get a little sooner, I think potentially would have helped. But see how he is gearing up for a 1-1-1 type play. And indeed it's not, so SLaNGyCHaNGy kind of throwing a wrench in the works, but he does have a lot of Marines. It is an all-in still, it appears. With a whole bunch of Marines and some tanks, he is going to be working on a combat shield here, and no extra add-on for this barrack. So I was thinking that we were going to see some Marauders coming out, but apparently not. It's going to be Mass Marine and Siege Tank. So maybe he thought he was playing a Zerg. I'm not entirely sure. Looks like this Zealot is going to pick up a kill here. Nope. Well, he did pick up one, but he didn't pick up a second. But he's going to back out with his life. That's nice. He does have 50 of his HP there on shields, and he can recharge that now. But here comes your push. Nice thing for SLaNGyCHaNGy, he did deny that scout, so Regnen has got to be prepared for this. And here comes your play. Looks like he did catch wind of it here. Figured that was coming his way when he saw that those guys moving out and blinding the tower. Moving down here to the low ground, but sieging up. Notice we do have good old-fashioned Guardian Shield being used here. He is pulling probes, however. Now going to be kiting back here out of the range of the siege tanks. We do have this one Zealot. He could probably cruise back in here to the back, but here comes all your Marines, and the Marines should be in good position to take out this Nexus. And quite frankly, this is kind of what you want when you're in Regnen's shoes. As a Protoss player here, you're trying to slow down this all-in. Is really what you're trying to do here. Trying to slow it down. Good force fielding here is going to slow these guys down here just a little bit. The siege tank still doing a lot of damage. A lot of damage indeed. Here comes your Immortal. Blasting away the siege tank. We've got one siege tank here just barely gearing up in a forward position. SLaNGyCHaNGy having a little bit of trouble staying on top of his unit production here. He's got 44 supply right now to 53. Regnen appears to be in great shape. Great positioning here with these Stalkers. Almost getting the snipe on that tank, but Regnen is holding this off in phenomenal style and has not even lost his Nexus yet, and that's big. Really, SLaNGyCHaNGy absolutely had to take out that Nexus, I think, in that push there fairly early, and is now going to have to feel like he's going to have to re-all-in. I don't think transitioning here is going to be super effective. We do have a starport going down. It does have a reactor on the way, so I'm assuming it's going to be just Medivacs here. Not any real need for Vikings. Excuse me. No real need for Vikings. So there goes your Medivacs. Going to be adding those guys into this army here in just a few moments. Probably going to even go for some dropping in the back is my assumption at this point. We do have Regnen kicking it here with his observer, does see what's going on, and is beefing up a pretty substantial army. 80 supply right now to 59, in phenomenal shape, and chrono boosting out his economy of all things. Whole bunch of warp gates, and he does still have that robotics facility pumping out Immortals. Nice little play here. See if he's going to be prepared for any drops, and I assume that's what we're going to see here in just a few moments. Maybe not. Looks like Changy is just going to gear up for another all-in push. I'll tell you what, though, Regnen is in phenomenal shape to hold this one off. Nice scouting here from Regnen. Oh, but look at that, taking it down with a scan. SLaNGyCHaNGy doing a phenomenal job there. But like we said, this guy absolutely has to take down this win right here, right now. Otherwise, it is going to be a final match headed your way. So, but it looks like he's not going to go for the drop. I thought for a second there he was, but Icefire says the best transition is into mutas. No, I'm just kidding. That's not what he said. But that's not exactly what he said. He's talking about a completely different matchup. So, but it was kind of funny to me. I just glanced over and I saw that transition into mutas. Anyway, SLaNGyCHaNGy does have a pretty substantial army here. Looks like he is going to try and transition into his second base play. Wow. Late on base number 2. In fact, if he waited just a little bit longer, he could just fly this guy out, and he wouldn't have to rebuild another one, because guess what? His main is about to be mined out. Look at that, man. These mineral patches are getting low. That one's still got 500, 300 there. What I know. That's 800, 300, 5, 100, and 600, and then 100 again. So, looks like Regnen appears to be in pretty good shape. This is a good transition for SLaNGyCHaNGy, probably a necessity at this point. He feels like he's not able to take on Regnen's army, and I agree with him. So this is kind of out of necessity, while it is still going to keep him very, very far behind. It's kind of one of those things you just have to do at this point. Notice that Regnen does catch wind of it, is going to start building a gold expansion of his own, it appears. Got to be destroying these rocks. And he's got a very substantial army here. Look at all these zealots. I wouldn't be surprised to see him grab some charge here, but warping in way more zealots. He is also working on that Twilight Council. I'm assuming he's going to grab charge here. Working on currently ground armor level 1. He does not have weapons level 1 quite yet, but is taking a forward position right now. And he does have a couple stalkers at the ready for any potential drops. So nice little play there from Regnen. SLaNGyCHaNGy going to be cruising out here to this forward position. Looks like he is going to go down. Does get a little scouting intel on the size of this army. Did kind of miss the back end of it though. But still he saw a pretty substantial army there from Regnen. Regnen, 50 probes right now for this guy, man. 50 probes indeed is looking pretty solid versus that 32 SCVs. We do have the expansion finally up and running here for SLaNGyCHaNGy. No orbital command on the way quite yet. He probably is going to need one. Those mules can be his saving grace there. I think is probably a necessity at this point, so he should go ahead and stall production there for just a few moments. Looks like these guys beefing up in the back, or back into the main, so he's going to turtle up here in a very, very big way. Regnen is taking his gold expansion right now. It's in fairly decent time. I would have liked to have seen maybe just a little bit sooner, but he is grabbing that charge, is also grabbing a DT shrine at this point. Nice play so far from Regnen. I'll tell you what, he is in phenomenal shape. +2 armor going down here very, very quickly. And he's, oh man, he's got a great build. I love, he's got a photon cannon. He's got just about everything he needs. Tossing out some more observers here as well. Probably going to see him switch into some Colossus here, I would assume, in just a little while. Unless maybe he's going to go for storms. But here comes your drop from SLaNGyCHaNGy. And Regnen going to stall here for just a moment. Probably going to see him transfer probes. There goes your probe transfer. Going to get the snipe on this Nexus. Doesn't really matter. He's building that gold, so he's just going to go ahead and transfer these guys down to the gold. Good snipe here from SLaNGyCHaNGy, but Regnen should be able to clean this out here fairly quickly if he continues, but it looks like SLaNGyCHaNGy is going to go ahead and evac this position, which is probably a good choice for him. Come in and do some damage, try and kick his way out. And my phone is going crazy. Let's get that sucker out of here. There we go. And it looks like Regnen just going to kick it here with his observer for a little while. Man, dirty phone. It interferes with my microphone sometimes, and I can hear it in my headset. So I had to shut it off. There we go. Looks like SLaNGyCHaNGy does make a planetary fortress here instead of an orbital command. Now that's an interesting play. He is absolutely going to be turtling up here. Does he have enough for a scan? Yes, he does, almost. This DT will pick up a good couple kills, however. Gonna keep these guys split. Oh, great scan there. Beautiful scan. Looks like he is going to make it outside of that scan area for just a moment. Ooh. Now he's got free reign here for just a little while longer. This DT could probably make his way in as well. Could be a good little deal. Now we do have that one missile turret here that's going to be very, very helpful in keeping these DTs out of the main. Looks like your SCV transfer now going down here for SLaNGyCHaNGy. He's just on the one base mining again. Not a fun position to be in. Looks like Regnen went ahead and rebuilt his Nexus here. I don't blame him. I mean, there's still, oh man, there's not really that much left. Not really that much left. It will kind of pay for itself and just give him a little extra. But I mean, it is what it is. What do you do? Nice little army, though, from SLaNGyCHaNGy. Regnen is about to be maxed out in my assumption. And look at this army, though. +2 armor on these guys. We are currently not working on any more upgrades, though, for Regnen. I would like to see him continuing his upgrades here. Looks like he is going to back out with this DT for a little while as well. And SLaNGyCHaNGy appears to be going for another drop. Observer should be catching wind of this. We should see either Regnen go for his push or start to back out here. He does have a lot of DTs here. Some scans going down. Looks like they're going to clean out those DTs, but here comes your push from Regnen, and that is the story to be told here. Looks like all these tanks are going to go down this defensive position here for SLaNGyCHaNGy in absolute trouble. Planetary Fortress probably going to go down here. That's going to completely stall mining. And this is kind of a base trade situation. Looks like Regnen should be in fairly decent shape, however. DTs here are going to be picking up a heck of a lot of kills. Regnen is currently supply blocked, but SLaNGyCHaNGy is kind of on one base right now. Scans going down, taking out a lot of units here in this base trade. Going okay for SLaNGyCHaNGy, but I think Regnen still is going to get the better of him. Good force field there, not too bad. Going to slow this down. Looks like he is going to continue this push, and it will be a base trade scenario. What's this SLaNGyCHaNGy going to do with these guys? Maybe try and float some buildings. Who knows? Buy himself some time. But the gold base is going down. I think that Regnen is going to start rebuilding a whole bunch of stuff. Yes, he is. Very, very wise move here. And so, yes, he's going to lose all of this stuff here, but what cost here for SLaNGyCHaNGy? SLaNGyCHaNGy does not have tons of buildings left. We need to see Regnen be serious about taking out this orbital command, however. There he goes. He is going to start taking it out as quickly as possible. If SLaNGyCHaNGy does pick it up, he's going to need his ranged units here started on fire. That's what he absolutely must do. Nope, he's not going to do it, but there's the GG regardless from SLaNGyCHaNGy. So Regnen taking it down in beautiful time. We will be moving into the finals here in just a moment. Thank you guys for coming out. Thank you guys for watching. Don't alt tab, always alt Starcraft. We'll catch you guys then.